of the first questions clients or their families will often ask at the first meeting, either at their home or in a hospital setting, is how much is my claim likely to be worth? That's a very difficult question to answer. Often at Stewart's, we specialise in catastrophic injury claims. So usually the person we're seeing has suffered a devastating brain, spinal cord injury, perhaps an amputation injury. And often what we say is that the claim is likely to be worth 7 to 8 figures, but it's difficult to be more precise at that stage. It's very much about obtaining the right evidence and understanding the devastating effect this has had on all aspects of someone's life and how we can help them get back to the position they would have been in had this not happened.
And there's 3 parts to a compensation claim. The first part is the award for the injury itself, and that's to reflect the fact that a person has sustained a catastrophic injury. The second part is calculating their past losses, so that can be things like the earnings they've lost, the money they've spent on perhaps accommodation, wheelchair, equipment, and that's a relatively straightforward adding up exercise. Third part is the most difficult part, and this is where the real art comes in for a catastrophic injury solicitor in calculating the losses that a person is going to have for the rest of their lives, their future losses. Now, the rest of your life is a long time, so if you're losing money year on year, that's soon going to add up to a large sum of money. So the solicitor will need to work out what that is going to be. And how's that done? Well, the first part of working out that is using witness evidence from friends, family, who can talk about the effect that the injuries had on a person's life. The second key part of that evidence is independent medical expert evidence. Experts who can talk about how a person is and how, more importantly, they're going to be for the rest of their life. And using that evidence, the specialist solicitor is going to be able to work out what the compensation is going to be.
It's a privilege as part of my job to be able to tell the client's story and the impact that this has had on not only them, but also their family and their working life and their home life. It ripples through every aspect of somebody's life and how they manage going forwards when they've had a devastating injury. Stewards spend the time to get to know the client and the family and to understand the impact and to be able to tell their story to the defendant team.
A key question that's going to need to be answered during the course of a case is how the compensation is going to be paid to the injured person. You may be aware that traditionally compensation has been paid in a lump sum in one go at the end of the case. But in recent years, there's been available another way to pay compensation. That is with a smaller lump sum and annual payments on top of that. Now, which one is going to be appropriate, which way is going to be the best way to receive your money in any particular case is going to vary depending on the specific circumstances. But a key part of your solicitor's job is advising upon that and giving you the information you need to be able to determine which way your compensation is going to be paid, because that is going to be something that affects you for the rest of your life.
And it's important to realise the compensation is not a lottery win. These big settlements you may see reported in the press, that's to last for someone's lifetime and is calculated by reference to their specific future needs. And of course, how we deal with cases at Stewart's is that we put a real emphasis on the early interim payments and funding for rehabilitation, because that's the most important thing. Often these cases can take 2 to 3 years to settle, if not slightly longer, particularly if it's a child injury case. And it's not about the final figure at the end of the case. It's about ensuring that the clients have the funding they need now to maximise their rehabilitation potential. It's about us being able to tell the client's story and that of their family and the devastating effect this has had on all aspects of their lives. And it's our job to try and put them back in the position that they were in as far as possible and to support their long-term care, rehabilitation and financial needs for the rest of their life.